Hello and welcome to Read Becca. I am quite behind, but I still wanted to get in my June TBR for you guys so you can see what I'm reading, maybe get some ideas for this month, the readathons that I want to participate in. So we have reached the point in the year where it's pretty much warm and muggy all the time here. And so if you hear any strange noises, it's probably just my dog overheating all of the time. He will be pretty much nonstop panting in every video from now on. So onward to the TBR. I don't think I have a ton of stuff. That's what I was planning, but then it really piles up once you get it all out. So we will see how much I do this month. I was hoping to really lean into library reading this month because my library is reopened. I'm very excited about that, and a lot of the stuff I do have is from my library versus my owned books. So right first off, you've already seen these particular books. These were in my library haul a couple of weeks ago. I still have them. I was able to renew them. These are the only ones I have not started or read. So I've got Master of Poisons by Andrea Hairston. I've got Is Rape a Crime by Michelle Bowdler, and I've got Hench by Natalie, Zina, Walschots. So of these three, one of my priorities this month is going to be the QueerLit Readathon, and Hench I had mentioned was queer, but I didn't know particularly how, and I have since learned that the protagonist is bi. So that is going to continue to be a high priority to get to for the QueerLit Readathon. Next up for the QueerLit Readathon that I've got on priority here is Pet by Akwaeke Emezi, and we will just read the inside cover. There are no monsters anymore, or so the children in the city of Lucille are taught. Jam and her best friend Redemption have grown up with this lesson all their lives. But when Jam meets Pet, a creature made of horns and colors and claws who emerges from one of her mother's paintings and a drop of Jam's blood, she must reconsider what she's been told. Pet has come to hunt a monster, and the shadow of something grim lurks in Redemption's house. Jam must fight not only to protect her best friend, but also to uncover the truth and the answer to the question, how do you save the world from monsters if no one will admit they exist? So I loved Akwaeke Emezi's previous work, Freshwater, and really was looking forward to getting into this because the group read for the QueerLit Readathon is Freshwater, so I'm participating in spirit, but I wanted to pick up something else by the author so I can continue exploring their work. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then my next one for the QueerLit Readathon is Catfishing on Catnet. So I am hoping to reread this because I actually have a hold on book 2 coming in probably in 2 weeks. So this will be a purely if I have time, if I'm really feeling into it. It's pretty short and a very quick read. This one I likened to a combo of Murderbot mixed with Eliza and Her Monsters. It's a SF thriller with a very great found family. So let's read the inside on this one. Because her mother is always on the move, 16-year-old Steph hasn't lived anywhere longer than 6 months. Her only constant is an online community called Catnet, a social media site where users upload cat pictures, a site whose admin is Cheshire Cat, a sentient AI who loves cat pictures. When a threat from Steph's past catches up to her and Cheshire Cat's existence is discovered, it's up to Steph and her friends, both online and IRL, to save them. A surprising and heartfelt near-future thriller about online privacy and out-of-control technology, and the importance of making connections in an increasingly fragmented society. So Cheshire Cat, the AI, was the protagonist of a preceding short story, Cat Pictures Please, that won all the awards, I think. So I'll link that down below if you want to check it out. That short story spawned this series, and it's just really delightful. The protagonist in this, in this particular book, I don't know about the sequel, goes through kind of exploring their first crush, first love, and that is with another girl. So she does go through some questioning and hasn't really thought about that before. So that is a major element of this particular book. But beyond that, on this cat picture forum, they have chat groups who are assigned by the AI, and the particular protagonist chat group is super queer. So lots of diversity there. So looking forward to at least the sequel, even if I don't have time to get to a reread of the first book. Next, Rhea at the Bookfinch is doing a Translateathon round 5 this month, which is all about reading translated works. I'm trying to be very realistic and not overdo it there. So I'm sticking pretty much with only the first prompt on that, but I will link the announcement video, and I believe the dates are the 14th through the 27th, but check out the announcement for all of the info and all of the list of prompts. The first prompt is just to read a work in translation, so I really hope I will be able to get to that. My main 2 options here are going to be The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón and The Dark Forest by Cixin, the second book in the 3 Body Problem series. So I have talked about these before on my Our Fantasy Bingo TBRs and on my physical TBR shelf tour, so I won't really talk about those, but these are both translated works that I really want to get to from my physical shelves. This one is kind of a literary fantasy about books, and this one is a hard sci-fi set in China. So those are pretty big priorities. I would like to try to read one of them this month and would consider that a big win. For other stuff, I did pick up a couple of options for translated works that I could add to that if I want to. I do have multiple other things. I've got some translated short story collections as well on my own shelves that I could reach out for, but I saw a few things at the library that I was excited about, so I picked those up as well for options for the Translateathon. So my first one is Story of a Goat, and this one is translated from the Tamil. The author is Perumal Murugan, and the translator here is, let's see, Kalyan Raman. And I have seen this on Russell from Ink and Paper Blog's channel, and he was talking it up. So let's read the back. In his brilliant new novel, Perumal Murugan paints a bucolic portrait of the rural lives of India's farming community through the story of a helpless young animal. A farmer in Tamil Nadu, South India, is watching the sun set over his village one evening when a giant man appears on the horizon. He offers the farmer a goat kid who is the runt of the litter, surely too frail to survive. The farmer and his wife take care of the young she-goat, whom they name Punachi, and soon the little goat is gaining strength and even bounding with joy. But Punachi's life is not destined to be a rural idyll. Dangers lurk around every corner and sometimes come from surprising places, including a government that is supposed to protect the weak. A beautiful portrait of the natural world that also examines hierarchies of caste and color. The Story of a Goat is a lyrical fable from a world-class storyteller. So it sounds really interesting to me. From what I understand is, as it says, it's kind of a fable, so I believe there are some more hidden themes about the political situation in India. So really looking forward to getting to this one. I think there's probably going to be some animal cruelty in here, just based on that synopsis and what I've heard, so I think it will be a kind of a difficult one for me, but I do want to get through it, so we're going to give it a try. So the next one I have is a short story collection, and this is Anatomy of a Corpse by Sigizmund Krzhizhanovsky, and this is translated by Joanne Turnbull. This one it sounds like a very weird. I recognized the name and I couldn't remember where I had heard of it before, and then I checked my Goodreads and saw that Jeff Vandermeer had read it, so I was like, that's probably gonna be my jam. The stakes are wildly high in Sigizmund Krzhizhanovsky's fantastic and blackly comic philosophical fables, which abound in nested narratives and crazy paradoxes. This new collection of 11 mind-bending and spellbinding tales includes some of Krzhizhanovsky's most dazzling conceits. A provincial journalist who moves to Moscow finds his existence consumed by the autobiography of his room's previous occupant. The fingers of a celebrated pianist's right hand run away to spend the night alone on the city streets. A man's lifelong quest to bite his own elbow inspires both a hugely popular circus act and a new refutant of Kant. Ordinary reality cracks open before our eyes in the pages of Autobiography of a Corpse, and the extraordinary spills out. That sounds very much like what I look for in short stories. I love really experimental short stories, and I love super weird speculative stuff, so very much my thing. So that is all the new stuff I have on my TBR. So it seems like a lot, doesn't it? But I was keeping it pared down, I thought. So on top of those, the only things I have on hand that are in progress, you have already seen. I've got Lyrial, I have got Women Talking, and I have The Relentless Moon. So those are still going. I also have dress codes, how fashion made history on my Kindle going. So those are all in progress, but they're going along pretty well. So I expect to finish some of them this weekend. So you can look forward to new updates shortly in my weekend update here. So that's what I'm up to. Busy month. Are you participating in any other readathons? I have seen that there are just a ton of readathons this summer, so I would love to hear about any other ones. That's it for me today, I think. Hopefully this will be more than enough to keep me busy this month. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more.